Not even a week.
Not
5 days.
even a week.
5 days, which for someone, I mean, what people need to understand, putting that into perspective, is that it really is, you really are learning like a new language. It's
Yes.
like I have to get out and start saying things in French or saying things in Italian when I don't speak French and Italian, you know? Even if I have a little French and I know how to
Yeah.
say like je m'appelle Melora, I don't know how to finish
Yeah.
a sentence, you know what I mean? And so like for me to say, you know, or to say like a philosophical, you know, whatever it is, a minute and 50-second, you know, conversation. And that's really what I'm trying to do. And it's very, very challenging. And then you have to make it look like you do know how to speak French. You know?
Parlez-vous, I'm here, baby. Like,
Parlez-vous français un petit peu?
yeah. Oh, oui, oui. It's so true. It's like taking an exam with your mind and body every week. Like, can you imagine?
Right.
Like, it's such dedication, and I think that that's why the show has been so popular for so many years. I've had the privilege of seeing it in person a bunch of times.
Yeah.
And I think it's because you see that the dedication and the hard work and the joy and the emotional journey, like you said, it is an emotional journey.
Oh, it
It's
sure
like
is.
therapy. It's like therapy every week.
It really is. It's just, it's kind of like throwing yourself to the lions week after week, you know, putting your feet to the fire. Maybe more like putting your feet to the fire, but you really are putting your feet to the fire, and you are just you're kind of in a pressure cooker in terms of just what you're contending with all the time, between,
Yeah.
you know, knowing that, learning the steps, trying to look like, you know. And that was the other thing, like that's the other thing about the scores and the judges and what they're judging and what they're talking about, and why it's so important to be getting feedback from you guys on Instagram and on Twitter, and like, you know, like just the amount of love that I get from you guys. I can't even tell you. I appreciate
You have the best fans. I mean,
saying like, you know, this or that, which, you know, is, I think, really profound, because they are dancers, and they are, you know, there to kind of say, if you just did a little more of that or do a little more of that. And
mhm. I can't hear you. Can't hear you. Can you hear me? Uh-oh. We're losing some audio. I know. She is a role model. I think she, you know, this is the beauty of live, guys. We're here. I know. I think we're gonna no. I think Melora's just checking on her. Oh, I think she'll be back. Stay tuned, everyone. This is hilarious. Okay, let's see.
better. Am I
Yes.
back? Sorry. What
Do not
happens
apologize.
when
We're
somebody
live. This is
okay, when somebody calls my phone when I'm doing a live, and then I declined the call because I'm in the middle of this?
yeah.
Maybe that's what turned off the microphone, but I don't know how
Yeah,
to.
yeah, I think that's probably it. It's I usually put my
Okay.
phone on do not disturb, but then sometimes things still pop up. I'm telling you, technology is against
Oh
us.
no.
They just like
How do
don't
you?
want us to get
How
it
do I?
right.
Should I put it on Do Not Disturb now?
Yeah, I think you can. Yeah, I don't think it'll mess with the live, and if it does, hey, we'll pop back on.
Okay, but then I don't know how to put it on Do Not Disturb. Let's just keep
You know
going and
what?
see
Let's
what
just
happens.
keep going. And if someone calls, you're a popular lady. You.
Oh my God, this is nuts.
Okay, so
Ay, ay, ay.
I'm trying to figure out where we left off because your
We
audio
we
cut out.
left off
But
we left off with just me just saying
judges,
that, yeah, the judges, and just that they're giving feedback that I really appreciate, because I take direction well, and I want to try to process what they're saying, because they're trying to help me. But I was also just saying, how much the balance of having the feedback from the fans, like people just saying that they love it and that they're
Yeah.
inspired and they're moved or whatever. I can't even tell you guys how much that means to me, especially like last week. Like Monday was a challenging night for me, and
Yeah.
I just like I relied so much on just the feedback of people saying, "No, it's great, we love it, keep going," and it was like, oh, I mean, I really felt like, oh my God, what's happening? Are we gonna get off the show? I want to be
You're like,
doing more of
no,
this.
our journey is
No,
not
no, no. Yeah,
over.
I was,
Yeah.
I really was.
It is crazy. Like it's really interesting because with the judges specifically, sometimes they see things we don't see, and sometimes we see things they don't see, and it's a balance. And I agree. Like yeah, Monday you were judged unfairly, but that's just my humble opinion. But whatever. And then sometimes someone could do a dance that you don't think is great, and you're like, "What is coming out of Len's mouth? What?"
Right,
Um,
right.
but I think at the end of the day, um, it's your personal journey. Like it's,
Yeah,
you
it
know what
is.
I mean?
It is.
And it is hard though. I think like to sort of take everything with a grain of salt. Trust your partner, trust your body, trust your journey. Hear what they're saying, take it in because like you said, you are great with direction. That's why you've had such a iconic, legendary career, and you are a perfectionist, and you take it very seriously. So you're going to hear them, but at the same time, it's that balance, I'm sure, of like the noise.
Well, it is a balance, and it does take so much. Just in the same way that I respond really, really well to applause and to people, saying yeah and
Yeah,
being
that
happy for my jokes,
energy.
that
Yes.
energy. I also respond to people saying, actually more like a little more of this. I
Mm-hmm.
respond to that really well
Mm-hmm.
too. So I'm not off put by what by the judges saying. It is sometimes shocking, but I think what they're judging too is they're judging on each individual's, you know, potential and
I was
each,
gonna say
you know,
they know
yeah.
how damn talented you are, and
Oh,
they just no. I think it's true. It's like they are there to push sometimes, and they push when they have so much faith in that star.
right.
And
And they feel
sometimes with
like
the
you're gonna,
choreographers too. I think they do it with
right,
the dancers. They're like, hey, you got this. Like you can
right.
do this.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah,
that's always.
yeah. I think it's true. It's true. I think it's a very interesting journey. And remember, it's a show. It's not a dancing show, right? This is not like dancing. It's not called Dancing with the Dancers. It's called it's called Dancing with the Stars. And what you're really getting a look at is you're looking into the process of
Mm-hmm.
what this is. That's what you're looking
Mm-hmm.
into. And when they say at the end of the elimination, in no particular order,
Mm.
the couples that are safe, well, they could have easily said Artem and I were safe as number, 3, but it was much more dramatic to leave us to last,
Yeah.
right? It was
Yeah.
much more dramatic. And if I were the story producer or the producer on this show, that's what I
Yeah.
would have done too. So,
Exactly.
and guess what? I'm
Yeah.
also a great audience in the sense that what I mean by that is that I get drawn into the drama of anything. Like I'm not a person who walks out of movies. I think I've only ever walked out of one movie in my life, even the worst movies. I will sit
Yeah.
through things. I go on the ride. My husband is a writer and an actor, so he's often like he already has figured out the plot and he's like 5 steps ahead of the detective in the movie. And
Yeah.
I'm never like that. I'm like right on the ride. I'm just doing the exact thing that
Yeah,
they're
but
doing.
that is a great that's a great quality, I'm sure, as an actor, as a performer, to be so invested as an audience member as well, and knowing like I want to
Right,
give the audience the experience that I have, that I
right.
get personally.
Well,
That's kind of
yeah, yeah.
magical. I
Well,
love
maybe
that.
maybe one of my skill sets is that I'm good at being present and I'm good at being vulnerable. So,
Hmm.
and I'm getting more and more comfortable with just whatever. This is me, like Melora. This is it. Like this is what I
Oh,
am.
and we are
Like
loving it. It's like, it's so
like,
beautiful. It's so beautiful to see it, to see your journey. What has this whole journey taught you most about yourself?
I think it's just brought up um, a lot of like examination of how I can get in my own head.
Mm.
And then if I'm in my head, I can't be in my body. And if you're not in your
Mhm.
body, you can't dance. And so yeah, just like trying to clear out the noise, as you said earlier. That's really what I'm working on all the time. I mean, I'm working on that all the time anyway, but this is particularly, you really literally cannot be in your head and dance. So
Exactly, exactly.
that's it's a wonderful sort of like, crystallization of that particular thing that needs to transform. So I'm really working on that all the time.
Yeah, and that's just a beautiful life lesson in general. I think what's kind of cool is the dance floor does become this kind of metaphor for life, and you kind
Yeah,
of realize like, oh wow, like yeah, like you said, you quite literally can't dance if you're not in your body.
that's
But
right.
if we're too much in our heads in real life, we can't do the dance of life.
Yeah, that's right. So true. So true. And you know what else that people forget and I like to talk about and I like to remind people? Our brains and our bodies are connected with our spine. and
Mm-hmm.
and like a lot of people like we walk around like thinking, oh well, if we just have it all figured out in our head, then we're good.
Yeah.
Or if we've got our body all good, we're good. And it's like, no, no, no. They work together and they have to work in harmony, which
Mm-hmm.
means I had a yoga teacher once that used to say disease is the
Mm-hmm.
dis-ease of the body.
Oh,
The dis-ease.
wow.
And it's like, what I was like, wow, that's profound. And when you really think about that, what is the dis-ease in
Yeah,
your mind? I'm not saying that like you're creating the thing that you have, but I do think they work in tandem.
a
And I do
hundred
think that if
percent.
you have a disease, you certainly need to address the thoughts, the emotions, the unresolved, whatever that is also happening in
Yeah.
here, while you're also addressing the body and taking care of the body. And that's obviously more Eastern and all those things too. Eastern medicine always, kind of deals more as the whole. But
Mm-hmm.
it's just, you just want to remind everybody of that. And I mean, for me, this is such an experience of that. I have to use my mind, obviously, to learn the steps,
Yep.
but I need to use my body, and they have to be in unison. They have to work
Mm-hmm.
as a team as much as I have to work in partnership with Artem. So
Yeah.
it's really fascinating. It's fascinating. I
Oh,
love it.
wow.
I love
It,
that part of this.
oh, that's so true. I mean, like, it's like how stress manifests physically. Our
Totally.
minds, whatever's going on, manifests physically.
Yeah.
And I think it happens to all of us. Some were more in tune than others, but like, I think that it's such a great lesson. Um,
Yeah.
how has it been? How's the partnership with Artem? He's so
Oh,
fabulous.
you know what? He is literally, all the pros on the show are incredible. I could not have gotten a better partner for myself. We
Yeah.
just are
Yeah.
we are just really, really suited to each other. We're both growing. I think, he's really growing me as a dancer. He's teaching me, things that I never knew. He's an amazing choreographer. He's so committed to this partnership, to the, his work ethic and my work ethic are very similar. We both work really hard. We're both fully focused. We're really trying to do the best we can. But he's also, he has that like Russian, like, poker face sometimes. But he really is a very, very warm, really lovely person. In the same way that I said I take direction well, he takes direction well. Because
Mm.
as a partnership, you really do have to communicate. You have to find the way that you work best together. Because you only have 5 days, you have to find the most efficient way to communicate, the most efficient way to work. And we really, I find he's so receptive to
Mm.
my requests and to my, sort of my needs. and
Yeah.
And he shows up for me. He shows up for me in the most, not just with the dancing and with the choreography and with the commitment. He also shows up for me personally in the way that I need
Yeah.
to work, because we are
Yeah.
working so intimately together, and we're energetically in each other's space, and we're spending I'm spending more time with him than I am with my own husband and with my animals, and so
Yeah.
it's like, and my kids are out of town, thank God, like literally, like thank God my kids aren't here, because I would have no time for them. I
Too
would have
much. Yeah.
no
Oh,
time to
that's
focus on them.
beautiful. But that's
So
like, that's the makings of a great partnership,
yeah,
right?
it is,
Like
it is.
that mutual respect, I think, is kind of what you're talking about too. He respects the way that you work, you respect the way he works, and together you can kind of figure out your own kind of um, partnership language.
Yeah,
Um,
that's right, that's right.
yeah, and that's
Absolutely.
beautiful. And I mean, oh, well, it's been so. Like I said, when I knew you had a dance background, um, but and a lot of, not to say that, like, a lot of stars have come on the show saying like they have a dance background. But when
Right.
I first saw you come out, you did your first dance of the
Yeah.
season.
Yeah.
I think I was most blown away. Not only were you technically just so fabulous, but I was blown away at um, how grounded you were on the dance floor, how truly at home you were on the dance floor.
Oh, thanks. It's a nice thing to
And
say.
it was so beautiful to see. And I could see the passion you have for dance. And also, it's just, yeah, you're just, I mean, I loved you before. I even love you more now. And I feel like the whole world is getting, feeling that way as well.
Oh,
Can you give us
that's
any tease about this week, upcoming week? Everyone's like, can you spill the tea? What's the dance? What's the song? What's the
um,
theme?
gosh, what am I allowed to
Yeah,
say?
what are you legally allowed to say?
I don't even know what I'm allowed to say. I'm like, I don't want to get in trouble.
You're like, I'll be
Um,
dancing. That's what I.
yeah. Well, I'm definitely dancing. I can say what I'm
Mhm.
dancing, you think? I don't know. I
No,
can't.
I don't know. I don't want to get you in trouble. Well, let's say this.
I won't
What's
get in
the
trouble, but
vibe?
yeah,
What's
well,
the
I think
vibe?
you guys already know that I think you already know, because I think they announced that, didn't they? That we're doing Queen Week.
Queen, like
So
the band?
everybody's dancing to the band Queen. I
Oh
think
my
you
God,
know
that's
that. So
fun.
that is super fun. So the little tease that I can give you, because there's a few people I see some requests here, I can just say that, on the Bold Type, which was the series I did for the last 5 seasons on Freeform, I played a character called Jacqueline Carlisle. And Jacqueline Carlisle was a real mentor. She was a really strong woman who was passionate and challenging, but she was fair and she was kind and she was a woman of power that didn't manipulate and cut her young employees off at the knees. She empowered them, and she helped them take flight. So I will just say that those of you who are Bold Type fans, there's going to be some Jacqueline Carlisle in this next
Oh
one.
yes! I have to say, I've had the pleasure of collaborating a lot on this program with Nicole Boucheri, who I
Okay.
adore, and I have gone on tangents with her about Jacqueline and the importance
Oh,
of a character like Jacqueline represented on screen. Someone with experience in a very competitive industry who is supportive of women.
of other women. Yep.
It is, she is literally such an amazing role model. And
Yeah.
to have her, I'm just so sad that show's over. I was such a fan of the Bold Type because I think it did so many incredible things with Jacqueline's character, with Nicole, with all of their characters,
Yes.
especially for young women.
Yes.
And
Well,
yeah,
it was a giant reason that I wanted to play Jacqueline Carlisle when they came to me and talked to me about that. I had just come off of Transparent, and I really loved that Transparent was one of those shows that was doing really good things for the trans community. It was sort of
yeah,
making, humanizing them and making them just be less on the fringes and more
mm-hmm,
understanding and compassion. And so I really felt
mm-hmm,
like I want to do something really good in the world. It's great to do good in entertainment. There's no
yep,
doubt that that's what I do. But I also want to do entertainment that's, meaningful and that
mm-hmm,
actually brings good things into the world. And so really that was when Jacqueline Carlisle came to me, and I thought, this is the next thing we need. Women need
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
And I do think that it actually also fed into my passion project that I've been working on for 4 years, which, if I do get to stay on Dancing with the Stars till the end, you guys will hear about it on this show as well. But it's a documentary that I've been working on for 4 years called Thunder Hunter and Me. That's all about that I'm actually in, but I also directed. That is very much about women holding women up. It's about
Yeah.
what it takes to get through hard, challenging times, and how we, as women, we really can do that. We can step in if we are the person that's going through it. Then we need to reach out to other
Mm-hmm.
women, and then
Mm-hmm.
when we're the women who haven't gone through it, we need
Yep.
to be that backbone, and be that strong force that can hold other people up.
Yep.
So that's really, it's all a beautiful kind of circle for me, and I really am very grateful that I got to play her on that show for 5 seasons.
Well, we're so grateful for, you know, for you bringing her to life. And this documentary sounds so incredible. And I can't wait to hear more because at the end of the day, we love storytelling because it has the power to educate, create empathy for us as women to use it as a platform to uplift each other, to celebrate each other. And that at the end of the day is what it's all about. So thank you for being a force of of light for that. So
Thank you. Thank you.
appreciate it. And we are so
Yes.
excited. We got to vote. What's the how do we vote? I'm sure everyone on here is such a fan and they've been voting for you. But if they haven't already, tell the
Yeah.
people how they can vote on Monday.
Yeah. Yeah, you can, and really your votes, I think your votes counted so much on Monday. I mean, really, like, you guys are keeping me on the show, so thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you a million times. Yeah, you just text my name, Melora, 10 times to 21523. You can do that. You can also do 10 times on your computer. So you can do another 10 votes if you go to abc.com/dancing with the stars voting or something like that, or vote, I think. But anyway, you
Mm-hmm.
just go to abc.com and go to Dancing with the Stars, and you just type in, you find your couple, Melora and Artem, and you can vote 10 times on your computer. And then you can vote 10 times on your husband's phone, on your
Yeah.
wife's phone. You can vote 10 times on your kids' computers. Like, one
You're on
family
your
could
kid's
vote
computer.
hundreds of times for me.
Mom, what are you doing? I'm voting for Melora. Like, okay, support that, Mom. I support that. I
Yeah,
love it.
The real Uber fans, they can vote. They can find ways. They can find
Oh,
ways.
yeah. It's all about finding ways. It's all about finding ways. Well, Melora, this was so lovely. Thank you again
Aw,
for making the time to chat with us in your very busy schedule. And we look forward to Queen Night. You
yay!
are our queen. So thank you. Thank
Aw,
you.
thank you so much, you guys. I adore you. Thank you for having me, and we'll come back when we have more to talk about with the documentary too.
Oh, absolutely. Would love
Yeah.
that. All
Okay.
right.
Mwah. Bye,
Bye.
everyone. Thank you all so much. Bye.